Kia ora, and welcome to another tutorial from accompany.com. In today's tutorial we're going to be using a pencil, a ruler and a compass to construct hexagons to make the Einstein tile. So let's get right into it. To construct our hexagon, what we're going to need is a ruler, a sharp pencil and a compass. Of course we'll need some paper as well. So let's start creating our hexagon. I've got my paper here now, and the first thing I'm going to do is mark the center of my circle that I'm going to create. I'm going to create 3 circles and I'm going to circumscribe the hexagons inside that. So the first thing I'm going to do is just mark a center point. It doesn't matter the radius we set, but I'm just going to set the radius. Now it's important, once you set the radius, you try not to change it. So it's important when you spin the compass, you spin it from the top here and try not to hold the arms. So try and keep a regular width of your radius. So once I've got the center point highlighted or drawn, I'm going to very carefully click on the center, put the pin in the center, and I'm going to very gently draw a circle without trying to skid the point. And I know I made a good circle because there's no overlaps. And one of the properties of a hexagon is it's 6-sided and it's 6 sets of the radius. It fits in perfectly. So again, I can draw a simple line anywhere on here. I'm going to put my compass point exactly on that first mark that I made. And then the more accurate you are with this, the more time that you spend with this, the more accurate your end result will be. So take your time. Again, keep your fingers on the top. I'm just going to create a mark here, and I'm just going to go all around the circle. Again, keeping it as accurate as you can, and the sharper your lead is, the more accurate it's going to be. And finally check if we're on target here. Yeah, I've got a little bit over there, and that's what's going to happen with the compass. So now I need to make my second hexagon. And we know the hexagons are made up of equilateral triangles. So what you can do is you can find the midway point between 2 halves here. So I'm going to put one on here, and I'm going to create a midway point, and that's going to be the center of the next circle of my hexagon. So I'm just going to scribe like that and find another point here. Make sure that's nice and accurate. Scribe like that, and again I'm going to use this now as the center of my next circle that I'm going to create my hexagon on. So just make sure it's nice and accurate in the center, and I'm going to draw all the way around like that. And this line here will be the line where these 2 hexagons join together, and I want the next hexagon to be up here. So I'm going to do the same thing again, taking this point here, I'm going to scribe from there and do the center point of this new circle, which is going to be just here. And again, the more accurate you are, the better your end result's going to be. So take your time. And so now I can create my third circle that's going to intersect with these 3 circles, and then I'll scribe off all the edges, edges of the, there we go, and I go around here, this one, nice and accurately, go all the way around. And again, we're getting a little bit of inaccuracy here. That's because we've got to be millimeter perfect when we do this, and it can be very difficult to do that. I'm doing this quickly, but the more time you spend doing this, the better your results are going to be. So I've now created all of the points on my compass that is going to be represent the 3 hexagons. I now need to draw those in. So using my ruler and a sharp pencil, and use the pencil lightly, I want to join together all of these lines, these points on the circumference of each circle. So just making sure it's nice and light, draw them together. I like to go all the way across like this. There's no right way to do this. When I choose, I'll do this one. again, as I said before, the more accurate you make this, so I'm doing this very lightly with a very sharp pencil, so I've got a nice sharp tip. I'm going to create these together. There we are, and now you can see I've created the 3 hexagons inside 3 circles joined together using simply a compass and no measuring. So now we need to join the centers together because we want to find the halfway marks. So I'm going to use these lines here. So now I'm going to just kind of join all these lines up here because we need to create those sections within inside the hexagon. We want to work with some halfway points, so I'm just going to join all of these vertices together internally, and again, the more time you spend on this, the more accurate it's going to be. So again, I'm just very lightly making sure my pencil and my vertices are aligning properly. Let's do this one here, and this one here. Let's do this across here, and this is an example of a tessellating pattern that is periodic. It repeats, and you will always get a hexagon repeating. Right, now we need to find some of the midway points, so we want to join the centers together, the centers of our circles, so that we've got some lines going across here. And you want to try and let's get these together across here like this. Okay, and so we're now beginning to get enough information. Maybe I want to put some across here and here, so let's just give ourselves another reference point. Remember, I can use my scribing to make this equilateral triangle, which is going to give us the halfway point. So I can now join this across here like that with the center, and I need to do the same probably across here and across here. I've got the center point here already, and I need to do the same across here, and probably across, I can do this one here across here. So I've now created 12ths on my hexagons. I just need to do this one here. Again, use my scribing tool. Got a bit inaccurate here. There we go. And that is now ready for us to start creating or tracing the shape that is going to make our hat tile. Right, so now we're going to use the pencil line a bit thicker this time, and I'm tracing from the example of one of the tiles I've got in front of me. So I know that line needs to be heavy, and this line needs to be heavy. It's now starting to trace out the size of my tile. So I've got these 2 lines here, and I've gone too far. It needs to be to here and to here. This is the careful bit you need to do, to the center. So I'm just going to remind myself that that's redundant. So I'm just going to rub those out, those 2 halves there. And then it goes up to here. Go around, that's correct. And then to here. Across the top of this hexagon to this vertex here, and then down to the center of this one. Yep, that's looking good. Then up into the center of this one. And now we come across to here. It pays to check all the time. Come down to this vertex here. And into here. Little short one here. And finally we come down to this center point here. And finally up to there. And you can see, if I colour this in very quickly, I've created the tile inside this line. So it's very possible to make your hat tile by making 3 hexagons joined together, and that's how you would do it with a compass, a ruler and a pencil.